Let's hope this is working. Mic's plugged in. Is it going? Let's find out. Good morning, folks. It's 9:02 a.m. on the second month, 22nd day of 2026. That's a lot of doses. The day of the deuce. The day the sky dropped the deuce on us. So it kind of what it's going to look like. Yeah, some of the imagery that I have has clearly indicated it's this guy. Yeah, it looks like somebody dropped a deuce over the top here. So right, what we're looking at here is the imminent comings of the moisture that's up here. It's being split into two pieces and it's coming in two batches. Fairly imminently going to catch a couple of you places off guard a little bit. Some of the totals I'm expecting are no longer showing on here. If there's a sweat that's coming through here, it's going to have every bit of 6 and 7 centimeters. Yep, those, 70 mil, 80 mil. Won't surprise me at all. There's some of these sections out through here, Roxby Downs and stuff, I was expecting much higher totals than is being indicated here. Yeah, much higher totals here. So I'm glad that I have a habit of doing my homework for you guys. Because, when it comes to windy, you don't always know who to believe and who not to. Right, so I can pull up this graphic here from earlier, where I was showing that 70, and it's a big slant around these lakes. I'm expecting about 12 to 18 centimeters, depending on how much of the tendril goes toward New South Wales. Yeah, this area of New South Wales is about to cop it in a big way, very big time. And I want these people to start getting their arcs ready now. From Broken Hill on over like to Nyngan to like a triangle where its middle finger is now. Is about to experience some very rough storms. Oh, some terrible chem right around where the heavy total, which is now only showing, you know, not even 300 when before it was showing you 400. Like I said, they can't make their mind up of what's going to happen. So you better listen and listen up because there's some big rains coming your way. We have to get ready. Oh, it's changing completely. What a swat this is going to give. So they can't make their minds up. You want to see something really cool looking? Look at this like Dementor looking cloud here that I caught over just where I was showing. There's Parks. A very big dish out there in the New South Wales. Look at this thing here, and I'm going to show you what this is. This is a boom, 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 boom. So something moved in an arc. It let that one go off, then that one, and then that one. I can tell by how big the plume is. And let's see if magnetic particulates showing up here in the sky. Okay, so I want to have a look at how that happened, because it went from a nothing over here, right? If I go back about 4 hours ago, there wasn't anything here. Okay, and then the deployment. One, two, three, four, five. You see these little dicks in here? And a little later, again, there's something in this spot is moving along with the cloud mass, continuing the dynamics of making a localized lull in this one spot. Look how spiky that looks. And not naturally occurring supercell. It's not round, is it? If you think that's round, I wouldn't have copied off your paper in school. You'd have copied off mine. Look at all this deployment here that caused this formation. Because originally I was wondering if it was a lake under there, because that can happen as the cloud mass moved along. The cloud mass would stop nucleating its condensates over the top of the lake. I've seen that happen before. And then a very specific deployment got done. This as we got closer to Parks. A straight line that is. I'll go back a little bit. The curves of these tendrils of whatever it is that we deserve an honest answer to that's in our sky. And we're breathing and we're forcing it on other life forms. Look how much shadow is on the ground down here from lack of sunlight. It could have been a nice sunny day for some folks. It's supposed to be summertime, but you can create winter conditions at will. It looks like the Statue of Liberty there. What's going on? The Statue of No Liberties. Yeah, that's about quite a chem bomb formation, isn't it? And then it led to that. It's not a little bit of space either, in case you're curious. I am. In case you're as curious as I am. Yeah, it's 91 kilometers of man-made cloud cover over here of this chem. It's not a little bit of area that's falling out now, and through the open windows of the peaceful populace of New South Wales. Yeah, I went there. I went there. Look at all these chem here from Newcastle. Look at the moon plumes here. See it? Starting to understand yet that it's not all just plasma. Is what is the plasma nucleating is and playing with. Look at the zigzags to this, like a square wave. I'm not saying that is a square wave. I said like one. Bzzzt. The fryer is on, the chems is bombed. As we move across the ocean towards the land of the mass chem. Yeah, look at the fryer here. Watch this. These interference pattern lines in this curve here, like that, in a wedge. The wedge. Conicity pointing at a spot. Pointing at a spot. Only you can decide. I'm going to let you guys do some of your own homework sometimes, you know. But I'm going to look over here. They got it quite bad over the last 24 hours over the Adelaide area here, like you can see over this bay here. Wallaroo, Munta Bay, Munta Kente. You're all being damn treated like something bad, ain't you? Oh boy, I almost said it. Well, if we don't start saying things plainly, then we're just not going to be able to communicate our frustrations, are we? And this whole area is all chem. It's all a bunch of shit in the sky. And the natural weather that can result from the pressure changes in the catalysts in the sky. I'm suspecting an aluminum hydroxide from the bicarbonate or chalk in aluminum and acids. It will form this fairly fast. It makes hydrogen plumes, which I pick up quite often when I go to look for those type things, which I'm not going to do today. See, look how the ice crystals of this is refracting light differently. Refracting it differently. If you pick up Aurora tonight, I'm not going to be surprised. Oh, look, Aurora is all the way here. Hey, look, we had another solar ash ejection. Look at this heart-shaped bam bam boom boom plume here with a bomb on the bottom. What a shame. So I guess I better show you what's coming. I've lollygagged and dawdled long enough. Let's let this run while I have a sip of my wawas and not use the mouse so much, because that's why I couldn't go live yesterday. I hurt my hand. My hand hurts. I'd rather have my hand hurt with my mouth open, describing how the land hurts, than being a pussy with my mouth shut and my hand hurting. And he says it looks like a cat. Yes, it does. The Cheshire cat. And it's smiling at all our asses in its quantum teabagging us. It's just standing in front of us with its tail out, with the fuzzy ones right under our nose. A good one. It looks like a cat. Booming the plumes. Oh, you better be ready, New South Wales. That's the land O'Kane moves its way south. There's a very defined corridor. It's pretty easy to map out with Mr. Squiggles. And if my hand is up to it, I might humor myself. I don't know, because I plan to go watch the Chinese New Year parade, because I hear they have firecrackers and things to dispel all the evil spirits and bad mojo. And well, with some of the way people act towards me, I think I better have some of that bad juju dispelled by that today. So I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be not raining. And in double digits, yeah, we might hit 12 degrees today. Holy mother, boy, I absolutely know this is going to be an incredible lightning day coming up there on the afternoon of Tuesday, the 24th. Wah, 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 wah. Booming and pluming. You could see the setup. Did you see where that Dementor was looking thing in the sky? Well, that's right where this storm is stopped. Right here. I showed you that for a reason, you know. I went right over to it, right where it was going to calm, and I said there was something weird going on there. Look at this. And we went into the darkness. I don't know if I'll find it again. Some things are harder to find. It was near Parks. There's the New South Wales sign. Yeah, it was horrendous, wasn't it? Right here. So right here, right, is where the badness is coming, right? If I do this, Let me put this in a new tab. Move the tab to a new window. Look, it's just the same. It's the same as this one. Right, when I look at these heaviest totals of these storms, it's occurring right where this is occurring. And it's not long from now, right? Where the heaviest totals of the rain are where these bands are. So I did some determinants using your well, I could let that finish running, but I think you might find this interesting. Only you can decide that. I really can't. So when I looked at the accumulations, they were all in these bands that were really well defined by these square lines in some of these areas here. Like I could come over here to the border. You see this haze line here? It's matching up. You see these steps here, and this is days ahead of time. There's the steps right here. It's matching up. It's matching up. So I'm very, very concerned that this is an actuality that's about to happen. Somebody says the Murray Gamma has burst. That's sad to hear. I don't have any details on that myself. And if I pull up somebody else's work, I have a habit of it getting that taken down. Alright, we'll put that back now. I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so let's let this run a little bit more for you guys. I'm not going to do super long term. I just needed to get this heads up about this because I'm not really seeing a warning. I know the signs of a Lando cane being made. Howdy doody, Mr. Rep. It's howdy doody time. Get a god your booty time. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Terra boom dee. Terra boom dee. Chemtrails have ruined your day. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. How you doing there, old South Wales? I came in bam today. You did. You got sprayed like bugs, fried like bugs, treating each other like a bunch of bugs. You do. They watch y'all nitpicking each other like a bunch of ants. You should be. You know, you don't help each other, do you, sometimes? But there's Mr. Squiggles. Here. Hot diggity dog. Now I can come up with a better example than that. But I'm not gonna. Because you might give a shit. Could give a shit a lot more. What do you say? You get up and go, got up and went. Well, my give a shit stopped giving a shit a long time ago. Or as I often say to people, you know, I could care more, but I could care less. Yeah, big thunderstorms and stuff, as they mix that cold air and all this chem, as this comes up here from the southern oceans here, is really packing a wallop of stuff. You can just about make out a conicity from working up some of the cold air a few days from now that's going to fuel this stuff. Just pick it up here. See it? And a secondary here. So the funnel of stuff comes easily through that, and then this will probably be a lower deck to that. Yeah, there's lots of influence. This goes this way. There's a straight there. It bumps into a wall of EMF, has to forces it down. Like this is all just about bumping things into things. There's its other wall right there. That's shut. See how I lower it down? Sending a whole lot of cold and wet towards Tassie over here as I look at their situation. So yours is coastal cruiser. You got energy like this, forcing it into Malvern. Full flow in that way. Door's still open like that. So yeah, I'm going to agree with that. You see how we mapped the chem? We could see the flow lines. Very easy. I mean, this mess of chem here is, what the fuck is that kind of a shit? It's a Lando cane. You know, if this was over the open ocean, you would swear it was a hurricane. Because it's got all these kind of lanes in it, doesn't it? Feeder bands and everything coming into this thing. But the first thing I notice when I see it is its squarenesses. And here it doesn't have anything but cone flows in it. This is well shut off because I did a map of the EMF here, and the whole coastline here is blocked. See this here? Separate dynamics. So that storm here is free to go that way, right? See the opening has been left. Yeah, the door's open. Oh, we got the bow tie move going there. That's never good. Because as this spins, right, that direction, it scoops all this with it. So this is all going in towards that area there where this low is. So that begins to spin and turn. And so it looks on your map like this big, massive, sturdy fucking storm. But really it's just a bunch of different layers of the atmosphere. Like that's over the top of that, which is over the top of that. Right? Do it again. Look, even this one's showing you that. Look how high the shadow on that is that says that's over the top of that, which is over the top of these vapors, right? Which all that's over the top of these, which you would call your cirrus clouds, which is pretty damn high up there already. Some of this stuff here is well over 70,000 feet. These are big, big, tall storms. And they're being made by man. And chemical catalysts are what the ice is made of. So the dynamics of the storms are well different than they were when I was a kid. Fascinates me, this science. And look at these plumes here in this curve right here. I'll get a good zoom in there. And you look in it, it's just squares. Square in the center with things like that going at it, see? Like this here. I see a dip, and a dip right here. It's just plain as day. Shave it off, half moon, boom, boom, boom. And this is over the top of the cirrus clouds. Yeah. Chem bombs suck, man. Boy, if they got very good at their chemistry of the test tube known as your sky. And look at this crap. And this is just one of what you would think of as a feeder band. And that's what it does. It feeds. It feeds its electric potential. It feeds catalysts, ions, and water. This here looks like this. It's not a round cell. This one here looks like that. See it? More like that. That one there. That's that one. This one here, God dang, look at this. They love burning your land up with salts, barium salts, lithium salts, strontium salts. The salt of the earth is not like you would think would be going on your food. Bit of an entity. Paradalia, yep. Yeah, I have to put it like that. And the funny farm is where we all end up. Look like a firecracker. Yeah, it does. That looks like a firecracker right there. You know, fireworks. You know, when they go, pew, pew, you know, pew, pew, pew. You make your kite go poo poo, and it stinks. So let's continue to run this. I'm going to actually gonna take you to the 2 weeks because this is a long, sustained wet event. See the dynamics of a very, very wet autumn. Lots of molds and late season cyclonic activity, which you'll just begin to see one begin to show up now, which I don't see how it could hit mainland Australia, but it is very possible on the 10th of March or so. You'll be having a coastal cruiser, as I call it. Very, very dangerous storms about. I'm not going to show Vanuatu that. Let's be sure about it. But I did notice that the conditions are perfect for it. For something to form up here suddenly and then go south. So I'm not going to get into that part of it yet. Let's concern ourselves with what I'm pretty sure is about to happen. Sure enough to put my name on the line. The terrible totals and the stuff that's coming your way over here. Okay? I've pretty much gone through it for you guys already. You satisfied? Are you satisfied? Because you got to be, because my hand hurts and I don't know how much more of this mess I'm going to be able to do. Right, so you guys in this sweat, that big ass, long, chem ass crap shit here, you guys get ready, because the cone is pointed your way. right through here, so I'll do my little saying now. I don't know what Wendy's showing you, but I'm gonna do this for you. Right, here's what I say. The heaviest swath is actually mapped out like this. The heaviest swath is this. So I'm gonna do the outsides of it. It did a dip right here, actually. Right there. With the heaviest being in here. Right there. Right fucking there. If you're in the path of this particular mesh here, let's just be honest about that. With self. I just had to do the lines. I've actually got a little bit off. There's your flow. And the EMF will cut the rest of if you send it to the coast, scattered it out. I'm not too concerned about it. And the real heavies, you see this post here? That's a money maker right there. Yeah, this area here is the heavies, the worst. If you're in there, get ready. You're fucked. Alright, with that said and with that done, sometimes it's nice to be fucked, especially when it's really wet. Alright, you guys are ready for it now. Get your arcs ready. Big love, stay safe, peace. My hands hurt.